Innovation never sleeps. From Ghana to the world, the workday ends, but the momentum begins.
This is the forge for the next generation of global leaders.
Science, tech, engineering, arts, math, bridging the gap.
Welcome to STEAM After Hours. Today's engine is starting now. Invest in the future today and help us make a difference. Learn more at gyisf.org.
Awesome. So good afternoon. So we are here at the Global Steam Plug. And so this is Letitia Note. And before I start, I have a quick presentation to give about our upcoming programs and also to highlight our community sponsors and partners, and then be able to share with you what I have for you guys today. And so with that being said, let me share my screen. And so good afternoon. So it is 3:11 and I know it's 7:11 in Ghana. So wherever you are connecting with us from virtually, thank you for joining. And if you have any questions and stuff like that from here, you can always message us and then we can go from here. So the reason why we are doing these sessions on Fridays is that we are getting ready for our Global Young Innovators STEAM Fest. And so this is a day of empowering the next generation in Ghana, in Kibi. And so today, the event is happening in July 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Kibi Presby College of Education in the eastern region of Ghana. We have over 20 hands-on STEAM stations. We will have live hackathon. We will have health screening, exciting prizes to win. There will be VR. Like there will be so many things for the families and the community to be able to access. And so we are welcoming you to our Fridays, the Global STEAM Plug, where we plug you into all the skills, the knowledge, the excitement happening, and to prepare our youth, our community, and even our businesses on the skills, the softwares, and the stuff that is out there, the conversations, preparing for high school, preparing for college, or even life after high school. What do you do? So this is where the Global STEAM Plug, these are the things that happen at the Global STEAM Plug. And so before we start, we want to thank our partners and our community supporters, the Adam Eye Technology. We want to thank the Glow Luxury Travel. We want to thank at Omega Doors and Locks, Abonaut Business Solutions, Glow Kiss Events, Mama Carol Foundation. We want to thank the STEAM Startup Group. We want to thank Abna Apia Nuamas Realtor. We want to thank Sankofa, the Children Museum of African Culture. We want to thank Step of Faith Ministry, Step of Faith LLC Rehabilitation Center here in Baltimore City, Afro Males Foundation, the DAF, the African Diaspora Forum, Youth Empowerment and Training Center in Accra, Ghana. We want to thank Glow Fam Association, the STEM Embassy, one of our biggest team or partner in Ghana with the STEAM Fest. And so if you are wondering, who are the people behind the STEAM Fest? The STEAM Fest is Expanding Boundaries International is the one behind the STEAM Fest. And this is what the Global Young Innovator STEAM Fest and Health Screening is going to be about. Innovation and competition, learning labs, marketplace. We will have wellness and family fun center, health screening, family trampoline, music, art, food, all those things. And the goal is to really expose our youth to as many diverse innovations and also hands-on learning as possible. And so we hope to see you on that day. So when it comes to the Global STEAM Plug, we meet every Friday, 7 p.m. Ghana time, 3 p.m. Eastern US time, 8 p.m. UK time, 10 p.m. East Africa, 11 p.m. in the Middle East. And so you can connect with us either on Google Meet, where you get to ask questions, or you can join our live stream, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. And so this is Letitia Note. And so for today, we are going to go over the Google Workspace, right? And when I say Google Workspace, some people know about the Google Workspace, but they don't even know all the tricks and stuff when it comes to Google Workspace. And one thing I will say is that I love using the Google Workspace. Some people say, "Oh, I am what is it called? I'm a Microsoft kind of person and all that stuff." Nothing wrong with that. But if you love Microsoft systems, then you will also love Google Workspace stuff too. And so I want to, what's it called, present to you the Google Workspace training, where you will get to learn about how to use the system and how to connect them in the age of AI. What can you do to be able to leverage and make your work as easy and straightforward as possible? Okay. So with that being said, let me share my screen on what the Google Workspace is about. Okay. So let me share. What is it? Share Canva. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay. So the Google Workspace comes with so many things, but I'll say that there is like productivity software. Okay. You get to have Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, which is a basic, Google Slide, Google Meet, Google Chat, Google Sheet, which is more of the advanced part, but then you get to have the AI system. Okay. So there are two ways to be able to access the Google Workspace, which most of us, we've been using the Google Workspace for years without even knowing we've been using the Google Workspace. Before, it was the Gmail that everybody was used to, right? And now the businesses are able to get their own Gmail or Google Workspace, where they are able to learn and also have their own domain and all that stuff. And so that is what we are going to be talking about, where you are able to see how you can utilize, how you can combine your, what's it called, your Google Gmail, your calendar, and how you can utilize all this with the AI systems. Okay. So with that being said, let me continue over here to show you all the stuff that you can have, okay, when it comes to Google Workspace. So as I was saying, the starter price is $7, and then they have the standard and of course the plus. But if you don't feel you don't have the money, you can get the free Gmail, okay, which is like the free Gmail account, and that Gmail account comes with what many of the paid stuff. You might not get the 30 gigabytes or the 2 terabyte, but you are going to be able to access many of their free stuff over here. And so today we are going to go over how to really connect your Gmail, your Drive, your Google Meet, your calendar, and also the whole Gemini system that they have right now. So for starters, I'm going to log into my Gmail, and I want you to see how all the systems come and it comes to play when it comes to productivity. So with that being said, if you can see my screen, let me see, share this tab. Okay. Okay, so let's go to google.com. So here we are at google.com, and we have our interface here. You can have the Gmail images. But then when you click on this, the Google apps, all the apps that you have is right before you. Your calendar, we have Google Site, we have Google Drive, all those things. So this is a paid account, which is when I say paid account, it's our nonprofit account, right? So I'm gonna now switch to a free account so that you will see. And the beauty is that you can always change different Gmail account, just like your Outlook and stuff like that. So with my free account, because I don't want somebody to say, oh, because you have what's it called? A paid one, that is why you're able to do A, B, C, D. But this is my free Gmail account. So the same thing, I click on here, and I have my accounts here. You see, this time I have the Drive, I have my map, Gmail, calendar, all those things here. And I have the Gemini, I have Google Meet, I have photos, I have sheets, I have docs, I have slide videos. All those things are what accessible also here. Okay. So you can say that, oh, you have to have a paid account before you can be able to use the Google account. And so once we are here, you have your Gmail right here. So with a Gmail account, you'll see that your Drive, you can access all those things right here. And so having your Drive, you are able to create Google Docs and having, oh, am I sharing my screen well? Oh my God. If you can't see, please tell me, because sometimes, okay. So you have your Google Drive here, right? As you can see right now. And you will just save. So let's say this is a test file right here. Over here, you can ask Gemini. You see how it says try Gemini at no cost. I haven't really used Gemini here, but just sharing with you. Hold on for me. Okay. So with that being said, I have to refresh the page. Hold on for me, guys. Okay, so somebody has a question? Hold up. Is something? Oh, okay, nothing. I thought there was a message. Okay, so nothing. Okay, so once you have your Google, you see how the Gemini account is here. I said no. Hold up. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to refresh. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. What happened? Okay, hold up. I just literally use this thing. Why is it doing this? It's like, do I ever get a break? Okay. Anyway, let me show you. I'm going to open another tab. So, because whatever is going on here, I don't get it. Okay. So I'm just showing you. Okay. So for example, this is a Gemini. Okay. So when you are using your Gemini and you go to connected apps, right? The, this is where the productivity comes in. So the connected apps, you see how you have your Gmail, you have your Google Calendar, you have your Google Chat, you have your Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Keep, and Google Track tags, right? And then you have the open stack where it retrieves passage from opening license textbooks where they will do verifications for you, right? And then they verify AI stuff. But what I love, I have not checked the YouTube one because I don't need the music for anything. What makes me like the Gemini and the Google system, don't get me wrong, Claude, Copilot, they all have their stuff. But if you are somebody that use Gmail stuff, I want to show you how you can really allow the Gmail system to work for you. Okay. So over here, you see how this is checked. That means that you have given Google the access to what? Connect all, or the Google Gemini to connect all your systems. So whenever you are communicating with it, it's able to pull information over here and then be able to give you a better response based on communication that you have been having with it. Okay. So with that being said, this is where the productivity comes in, where life is getting simplified for you. So let's do a chat. Okay. And I want to go back to the Word doc because I don't understand why it's not working. But for starters, as I have shown you how the Gemini works, I want to come back to the Google doc, right? And then the tools that it has, right? So they have voice typing. Okay. So with a voice typing, let's say you have a lot of things going on. You want to just brainstorm things with your AI or your system. Okay. Here you can say voice typing. Okay. So hello. I'm working on this summer camp program for high school students on how to use AI for their everyday service and stuff like everyday learning. And I need your help in creating like a 2-week summer camp program for them. And give me some brainstorm of some of the topics that we can cover for each week. Okay. Of course, you could have typed all that stuff, but this is where the productivity comes in. The amount of time it will take you to type. And so for most part, you will copy this, right? And you copy this, bring it to your Gemini. And you could have easily, yes, you could have easily also done the whole talking here with Gemini and stuff like that. But here we are adding that information over with the Gemini system. And then it will give you what? 1 week, day one, because I said it's what? A 2 week. So what? They demystify the medical prompts and AI engineering 101 and stuff like that. So you can gather all this information right here. And then what you will do next is that right after you finish, you can either copy everything, copy your response, or you can say what? Export to what? The Google Docs. Or you can say export to what? Gmail. So let's say we want to put it to Google Docs. So just click export. Okay, so it's going to create a file and then it will open the file for you. Okay, so right here, when you get it right this way, it's still loading. If you can see my screen. You will just delete, clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up. You clean up, you review. Mind you, you have to review everything that you are getting, right? But the beauty is that this is how the AI system and also the Google Workspace is helping simplify things for you when it comes to what? Productivity. Okay. In the past, you would have just now go back, read all that stuff. But the beauty is that your knowledge on this whole AI system and stuff. It's what you are going to use to see the case. The AI is not going to come and teach the case, but because you are a subject matter expert in that, or to some extent, as you are reviewing and stuff like that, you will see that some things need to be tweaked, right? And then you can what, tweak it around. So example, you've done this, you've created all this stuff for week 1, week 2 and stuff. You can now ask it to what, review, or I say, okay, what are some of the tools will I need for a class like this, right? So right now that I'm here right now, we can now go back to our Gemini again and then ask. You see, it's even asking what kind of tech access. So it's going to help you to what, prepare for the curriculum or for the lessons, and then what, even give you ideas or pointers on how to what, deliver the course. So we're gonna say we're gonna use what, tablets. And of course, I could have spoken it, right, or given audio speech and stuff like that. Okay, so it's going to draft a table outline. Okay, and with that table outline, you see, Monday, I didn't even give it the time and all that stuff, but it's just giving me, this is how this whole productivity. So we could have easily, let's say you already have the curriculum ready, you already have the curriculum, you have this everything set up. You can just copy all this stuff. You can say, what can you convert this into a table format? What is weekly, Monday through Friday kind of system? Okay, this way you are getting ready for whatever that you are about to teach. Anybody have any question? Am I making sense on how to really use the Google Workspace? And I'm sorry, I'm not teaching Copilot or the Microsoft stuff. I'm teaching today. Next week we can go over the Copilot using Outlook and all that stuff. But today we are focusing on the Google Workspace. Okay. So right now that we have this right here, any questions? Anybody have any question or comments? Okay. So if nothing, so now that we are here and you coming back here to Gemini and having all this thing ready, what you can do is now what, export to sheets. So it will simplify, convert this, whatever that it has helped you, and then you can open it in sheets. And then when you open in sheets, it will be right here for you. It gives you what, the time, the session, and all that stuff here. So you can just select that, go to tools, or no, not the format, and then you can say convert to table. This is where it will make it a little bit clean, right? But then if you don't want it to be every one of them, you just select up to column D, and then you go to format, convert to table. You can change the size, add some, we can even delete this. This is not needed. Okay. Oh. And then I have a question. From looking at this, is there a problem? What is going on here? Anybody have anything to add? Anybody has anything? Is it up to par? Can it be improved? I have a question for you guys. Can you guys see my Excel sheet or Google Sheet?
Yes, we can see.
Any question on? Okay, so my question is, looking at the table, I asked it to give me what, a timetable for the summer camp. And my question is, looking at this, Is it okay? Can it be improved? If it is okay, okay. If it is not enough, what can be done to improve on it? So no, nothing. What we are looking at is just giving. I didn't give it the timeline. I didn't say that the camp will start from 9 to 1. So that is the biggest flaw. And of course, he is saying that what we're gonna do icebreaker, this, and AI creation and fixing bug. But that is like this. Is it a 1 week program? What is this? So this is where you go back and say, hey, and again, I always say you treat it like your admin or whatever it is. So you say, hey, comp hours are 9 a.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m. And then it's like it say warm up and clean up and stuff like that. So even adding that would be great. And then you ask that I need you to break down your table based on what will be covered on the day. Okay, so you see how it's giving 8-hour daily schedule, which is what we have here, and week 1 mastering. So mastering the machine, morning 9:30 to 12:30. So this is how you can be able to what use that. Then another way to go to the next level, right? With the whole Google Word and Google Workspace and the productivity part is that you can say that what for week 1, just copy week 1, day 1. And I think the 20 slide is too small. I'm going to make it 25. Okay. Okay. So it's still working. Okay. So this is another. So you see how out of the whole from the beginning of the conversation was we are working on a summer camp. we gave an idea of what the topic that we wanted to be like, right? And we now created like a 2-week summer camp program. And then the next thing was what? Allowing it to really help us to convert that into a timesheet table. Now, after that, we are working on what? Creating week 1 slide. So I want us to open it and see how it looks like. Okay. Can you see? And so this is how your Google Workspace or what helps you to what? Be productive. So after here, we're gonna go into our inbox. So you see, and you can change the images, you can take stuff out, you can do anything that you want. You see how it gives what the kids comes in and it gives them their morning schedule, all that stuff. So this way, the before you have to now go and open slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and you are copying and pasting, typing, all that stuff. But now you don't have to do all those things, right? So this is what I wanted to. This is one part of what allowing the Google Workspace to help you to be productive in your daily work. And this can you can streamline this when it comes to whatever industry that you are in, whether you were a teacher, a marketer, a parent, anything. You see, we went from an idea to now creating what? A Google Doc. And now from Google Doc, we use what? The Google slide, the Google Sheet. And from the Google Sheet, we created what? A timetable. And from then we have done what? A presentation that we can what? Use to now what? Teach the kids on what? Week 1, day 1. Okay. So now let's go back to any questions for me on this one. Okay. So let's go to our inbox. Why are you being mad at me?
Where's that little boy?
Okay, I'm in class. So keep your comments yourself. Okay. Okay, so you are in your Gmail, you are in your email account, right? So here we are, and you want to start making sense out of stuff. So you can go to settings, right? And let's see all settings. So here you are in your settings. In the settings, you have your general, you have your labels that you can set up labels and stuff. You have inbox, and the inbox, which I'm not going to cover today, you can have multiple inbox if you want to. Account and imports, how you want to set up your accounts, and filters and block. You can actually add people to block, and even the system can also block. You can have ads on and stuff like that. Chat and meets that you can have, right? And then of course the advanced. So I'm going to go through the labeling, okay? So inside your email, you will have different labels that you can create. And this way, it really helps you to what? Be efficient, okay? And Gmail has already created these labels and stuff that you can what? Show or hide, okay? So over here, some of them are being shown, others are what? Being hidden and stuff like that. And so for example, you see the social is being shown, but if you want to hide your social, you can hide that. So you see, look over here. Okay, I have social. You see, when I click hide, it hides it. It doesn't give me that on my inbox tab and stuff like that. This is the update, right? And if you want to hide the update too, you can hide. If you want to hide the forum, you can hide them. Some people think that you have to keep these things with you. You have to keep these things with you. And you can also create your own labels. And these labels can be what? It can be anything about work, school, family, all that stuff. And even that you can what? Hide, show, hide. You see how as I'm hiding them, they are hiding and all those things. So this is how, and this is a free Gmail account, okay? But and of course, there's more things you can hide, you can show, all those stuff, okay? So this is just by the way. And you might be asking, what is this IMAP and stuff like that? The IMAP, if you are using a, let's say, a generic email account that you are syncing or signing in on your phone, maybe you are using an, let's say you are using what they call a mail account on your on your Apple device, right? And so they might, you might, this was before. Now you can actually, you don't need to have the IMAP system and stuff like that. But if you were using a generic email, there was not a Gmail app, then you can have the IMAP, and it's asking you that, do you want to show these stuff also on that external email and stuff like that? And of course, you can decide to what, show or hide. So this is how you can what, organize your inbox, okay? You can have your themes and all that stuff. You can set up themes, but that is not what I want to focus on today. I want to focus more on what, the productivity. So over here on offline, do you know that you can have an offline email mail? And what is the offline? Let's say that there's a power outage or there is no internet wherever you find yourself. If you enable the offline, that means that whatever email that you open, you see store emails from the last 30 what days. And it's saying what, download what attachment, keep offline data on my computer, or remove offline data from what, my computer. You can decide on what, and then you can what, save, okay? And the offline, if you ask me, it really, really helps when you're going to remote areas that you are not sure whether you are going to be able to get an internet or not, okay? And so when you have them downloaded on your computer or remove it from your computer, depending, some of them you can sync them. When you don't save it on your computer, you are very limited on what you can get, because if you save them in the cloud, whatever you are saving, without internet, you cannot access them. So advisable to what, save it over, use the save on my computer or offline data here. Then you can save, and you can decide to say what, keep it for 90 days or something. So that means all the emails you received the past 30 days, they will what, store it on a offline where you will be able to access them without what, internet. And the same thing goes with what, your Google Drive, Google Doc, Excel, all that stuff. You can make sure that what, they are available offline. And so when you go to here, when you, let me, no, where is this thing? Over here, sorry. You can see, I know my screen is a little bit smaller. You see right here, make available offline. That means that this file will be saved on my computer like a regular Google document. I say Google document, like a regular Microsoft Word that we used to do all this time. And then just in case there's what, no internet, you will be able to what, access that. Okay. And this is where you click and it says what, turn on your file. So that means that without internet, you will be able to what, use your files offline. You can be able to edit them and all that stuff. And then when you get internet, you will be able to connect it and save again. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay. So
I had a question on the labels, right?
mm-hmm.
So you see how in Outlook, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Outlook has, when you do the folders, right? You can do rules, right? You can do rules that on Outlook. Is it the same? Can you do rules on the labels?
Let me come back. Where am I? Okay, am I here? I'm not showing this. Where? Let me see what screen is it showing. Okay, the
Yeah.
Excel sheet. Okay, hold up. So let's go back to Gmail. Okay. Yeah. Oh, share this instead. Okay. So I think one of the biggest thing for people not who don't want to move from Outlook and to come to what is it called to come to Gmail is this issue, right? And this is called what? Filter. Over here in Gmail, they call it filter, right? So you can create filters based on where the emails are coming from and who is the emails are coming from. Okay. So where is my filter? Right here. So filters and block address. Okay. So you can create a new filter. Okay. And the filter, you say that if the email is coming from, let's say, see, okay, the email is coming from Adomi to, okay, and you don't need any subject. You just say that any email coming from this email to this email, what create a filter for it. So has attachment, doesn't have attachment, it doesn't matter. So you just create, okay, a filter. And then when you create a filter, when a message is an exact match for your search criteria, skip the inbox, archive it, mark it as red star, apply the label to this, forward, delete, and all that stuff, right? So here you can apply this label and then you move it and say what? Move it to what? Expanding. Okay, say new label. And you can say Tony message. Okay. And you can decide to put it under a personal whatever. If it's your work stuff, if it is your whatever, or you can just keep it like that. And then you can create. Okay. So now that it has been created, let me go back. Okay. So where are my filters? So this is what we have over here, right? So let me go through and let me refresh. I'm going to refresh my stuff. So you see the label here, right? So any message that comes from Tony from me, then it will be right here. Am I making sense? So right now, this email can send me something and then I can be able to get anything that's coming from there. Okay. For example, let me see who normally send Miss Emerson. Okay, so let me see something. So I'm gonna just copy her email like this. Okay, her name. Oh, I made her email just to show you how. Okay, copy. So now let's go to settings again and see all settings. So we are here and then we are going to filters and labels. So we can create what? A whole new filter from Miss Emerson. And then we will say search. Label as create a new. Okay. So all the emails from Miss Emerson, they are here. Okay. Does that help? Did I answer your question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So that is that. So now let's go back. So even in your inbox, when you are the settings, right? See all settings and stuff. When you scroll down, you can create your signature. Okay. And the signature, when you create a new signature, you can just name it, let's say word signature or something. Just create. And then when you create, just doing a test, and then you put everything that you want to put in there, you create. You can create another one. Let's say family signature. Many people have one signature anyway. But anyway, so create, and then you can create whatever. So within that, it was to ask you, what do you want to be your default, right? So you just select family or way signatures, whatever you think is your most default. And then you can even create a very, let's say, for example, you want to edit this. So of making a family signature, I'll say normal signature, right? And then this one, you're gonna say short signature. And the short one will be, you say what, reply. On reply or forward use, you can just use what, the short one. And then on the whatever, you just use what, the normal, the long one, where it's like your name, your title, your business name, and all that stuff. And so what, insert signature before a quoted line and start that dot stuff like you can over there. So you see how you can just create your signature. You can add links, you can add images to what your signature area. This is, I'm not going over how you can do your signature, but just to show you that in your Gmail inbox, you can create your signature. And when you're going on a vacation, you can what, put a vacation responder on. You can put a date and whatever and say, hey, I'm out of the office. You don't forget your subject. You say, I'm out of the office. You put everything. And when you be coming back and all that stuff, when you want to activate it, the last day you also activate it and start if you want to, and then you click what, save. Okay. Any questions, any questions or comments on this one? Today is more about how to make Gmail or the Google Workspace more productive for you. Okay. So I've talked, it's 3:57 p.m. or 8:57 p.m. in Ghana. I've talked about how you can move from an idea to using AI to brainstorm and to create those documents, right? And now taking the document from just a regular document idea into a timetable, right? So this is a timetable that we created today with, even though it needs improvement, it is what a start. And so this way you know how everything's going to what go by. And then from the timetable, we took it to another level, and then we created what our first was a slide. And the slide came from what, our weekly agenda, right? Whatever we plan to teach the kids, we created what, a slide, a 27 slide. What is what is ready to go. And it's like you can review, check on it and all that stuff. You see how I have even lunch break, recharge, and all those things. You can review them, take things out, make it more personable by adding pictures about the community that you serve, all that stuff. Okay. And then when you finish, you can export to slide, or you can what, download it to become like Google Slide and stuff like that. And then you can edit it more on that. And then we moved from there and we went to what, our Gmail, and I showed you how to what, create labels so that you can what, organize. And then there's stuff that Google brought or gives you when you open an account with your Gmail, all that extra labels that you get, you can show, you can hide, snooze, all that stuff. You can hide them, you can show them and all that stuff, or you can what, you have the power to show them, like even the drafts, right? You can remove them or you can show them, right? All emails, also spam, you can hide or you can show, trash, all those things. And then you can have your own other categories that you can also add. You can create your own labels and stuff. You see how we just did the MSN one. So every email that comes from MSN will be here. Every email that comes from Tony will be here. So all our conversations, yeah, I'm not saying anything. All of our conversations with what is going to be here. So everything that she has ever sent or I have ever sent to her, they are going to be what? Be here, right? And another thing that I want to share before we finish, when you are composing an email, and this is one of the most productive stuff for me, if you ask when it comes to Google Workspace, is like, let's say I want to email Tony and I'll say, hey, this is just a test drive. I know Tony needs this by Monday, right? So this is just a test. I've done the email, created everything. Today, let's say today is Saturday. I don't want Tony to get this email on Saturday because I feel like when he get on Saturday, he might not review it and he might get lost in the mailbox. But then my week is going to be very, very, very busy. And so I don't want to say I will come back on here to come and type the email to send to Tony. So what do? I create the email, and then what I do is that you see this button here. I can click send, or you can just click the arrow down here, and then you schedule the email. So you see how it says we want to send an email tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m., or whatever. And so, or you can pick up a time and a date, So right here, 29th. See, if I wanted to go on Monday, June 1st, I'll say, deliver this mail Monday, June 1st at 8 a.m. Okay. And then you will schedule. This way, if you have to email 20 people on different days during the week, but you have a free time on the weekend, you can take your time and schedule them, and then on the day of it to go. So you see right here, it says scheduled. So let's say you've scheduled, it says it's going June 1st. You can, let's say you've clicked on it, it says messages is scheduled will be sent at their scheduled time. You will click on this one and you say what you want. If you want to edit it, you can do cancel send. When you cancel send, you go to drafts, you will see it in drafts, and then you can make the editor you need to edit, and then you can schedule sent again. You can schedule. This way you are not always stuck behind your computer. You can use one day or do all your emails or your reply or your follow-up and all that stuff. And you know that this one, you don't want it to go at the wrong time where they're not going to pay you any mind. You feel like Tuesday, 10 a.m. will be ideal for them to get a good reply. Then you schedule it on a Tuesday and stuff like that. So when we talk about the Google productivity, and again, this is a free account that I've been showing you guys today. And this is how you can really make this productive for you. And for the sake of time, I won't go through the next step of how you can convert the Google slide into now creating even a website for the summer camp based on the information that you have, and also even creating the images or the flyer for the event. I will pause here. Any questions or comments? Okay, so if nothing, thank you, Ms. Achu. So if nothing, we will stop here. And Ms. Achu, question, huh? Ms. Achu, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. I've learned some things that I've added to what I've already know.
Awesome.
But my question is that as we in Ghana, sometimes we have to off our data for some time on it. So when you share that you want the person to receive the mail at 8 a.m. and you forgot to turn on your data, the 8 a.m. pass, it means the person will receive the mail on time, right?
So what I'll say is that because everything is in the cloud, try and test out. If you have a second email, right? Schedule it to that second email off your network and stuff and see what will happen after that. Am I making sense?
Sure, you are.
Yeah, just test it out. I haven't done that, so I wouldn't know. But test it out. For me, knowing that it's in the cloud, because Google just needs
Yeah.
it.
You have to find time and complete it. I think that one will be the most interesting part. So you have to come back.
I didn't hear you. Sorry. What were you saying?
I said you have to find time and come back because what we are saying, converting to the website is
I know what
interesting
you're saying,
part. So you
you.
have to find
No,
time
no,
and
no, no,
come back.
no. I didn't say about them. Hey, whoever I'm recording, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Yeah. But you see how we move it from just an idea to conversation to the Google Doc and now to the Google Sheet and then to the Google Slide, and then you can use that information to build a website and then even create a flyer, and that is how you can use one system, the Google Workspace, to start from idea to completion on productivity and stuff. And so if there's no questions, I'm going to stop the what is it called? Hey, do I have any questions here? Hey, comments are here. Hey, whoever you are, forgive us, okay? Today the moderator was the one teaching.